begins in 3, 2, 1.
Dun 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 dun.
Call me Snake.
Mir Gerd. This is the morning stream.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to TMS. It is the morning stream for Tuesday, September 29th, 2020. We are almost out of September. Somebody wake up Billy Joe.
That's right. Tomorrow, I hope Billy Joe Armstrong has his alarm set.
It's actually... Oh, I'm so glad you brought up alarms.
Oh,
Brian,
really?
I have to
Okay.
share this story about alarms. Okay.
Oh, wow. All right.
All right. We were just talking pre-show. That's Brian. I'm Scott, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Did you not?
don't know what I
Hi
did.
out there.
We've done a lot of these. This is 1996.
At some point, we do expect you to listen back to figure out some of the stuff that we.
Oh
we've
my
set
gosh.
up.
We're also weirdly close to 2000. 1996. So what is that? Only 45
Wow.
years, 6
Where
years?
did the 80s go? Where did the
4 years.
1980s go, Scott?
I don't know. They just flew past. Like, we have gone through the entirety of the
Really?
grunge period in about a week. So
We totally did, and I'm looking. Yeah, we really did shows. 1990, 1991, 1990. I completely
I know
missed
the 90s came
everything.
and went. Yeah, it's weird. Anyway,
Well,
so
on Friday we're gonna on Monday we're gonna party like it's episode 1999.
no, we'll do that on Monday because Fridays we don't count. They
That's
don't
what I said. Didn't I say? I started to say Friday and then said I mean on Monday. we're
Oh,
gonna
I
do-
missed the Monday part.
Or
So,
did
all
I?
right. So
Did
here's
I
the
just
thing.
think that?
Here's the thing about alarms that I have to say about this morning, because last night I had a horrible dream. Was telling you pre-show. It was so bad that it kept me up the rest of the night, and not going to get into what it was because it was just awful. But anyway, so I had this dream. It was bad. It did not involve Brian's head on an office chair. Okay, so it's not that kind of dream. Remember that one? That was a beaut.
That was a beauty.
S-
Yes.
still don't know what that meant.
I don't even remember what it was. I think I was moving my mouth, but you couldn't hear me talking or something.
Yeah, it was like really haunting and awful.
Yeah.
Still don't know what that was about, but that was so long ago, it never came true. We're all good now. All right, so my alarm this morning goes off at 7 because I set it for 7, and usually it's at 6, but I set it for 7 today. I don't know why, I just did. The show was prepped overnight, so I wasn't worried about, time this morning. I was like, you know what? It's going to be chilly in the morning. We don't have the heater on. We're just going to chill in bed a little bit. 7 o'clock sounds good. Beep, I said it. 7 o'clock comes, and I get my really soft, growing alarm sound that I use that isn't jarring or anything. It's just like a nice ease out of it kind of thing,
And once we get through the story, I do want to I want to circle back to that because
Okay.
there's a complaint I have, and maybe you can help me. But
Okay, and maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm heading toward where your complaint is. So I have this.
maybe.
I have this soft thing, and then you look over and you can either snooze, or you can end your alarm. Well, I'm
Or
snoozing this because I slept like crap. So I snoozed it. 10 minutes or however long it does later, does the same thing again. And I go, okay, one more snooze and then I'm getting up. So I hit snooze one more time.
Yeah.
Third time,
Oh, really?
and I don't
Really?
I don't
Like
know
the
how you
third
do. I
time
didn't
it
set
flopped
that.
out?
No, I don't know what that is. It's like an iOS 14 thing or something. Like,
Huh.
how weird is that? Someone needs to try this, not just me, and see if it's me, because I think they're like, hey, if he does it 3 times, we got to get his ass out of bed. And it just got real loud.
There was a so it's funny. Okay, well then there's 2 things I'm going to bitch about. So everybody, settle in.
All right, bitch away. Go. Give it.
Settle in. First off, the upgrade to iOS 14
Yeah.
took away something that I always felt was kind of a silly feature, but I always used it.
Yeah.
And it was in that alarm section. It was the middle tab, and it was called bedtime.
Oh, that's still in there. You don't have that now?
No, you
Yeah.
have that?
Yeah, let me tell you how this works. So if you go...
Yeah, tell me how it works.
It's different now. So if you go to your what do you call it up top, where you pull down, whatever that is, command center thing.
The command center, right?
Yep. You hit the little alarm button that's between the flashlight and the calculator.
It's going to be a different place for everybody. But
yes, that's true. That's true. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Down at the bottom, you hit alarm. Right. You got that.
Right.
And then you got it'll show what your current alarm is up top with a little change button.
Yeah.
If you hit change, now you'll see that wheel.
Wait. Okay, hold on a second. Now you lost. So I'm on the alarm page and I've got all my regular alarms.
Do you have anything set for a morning alarm?
I have a bunch of them that are different morning alarms depending on what I want.
But you don't have a single one that says.
I have one that says bedtime. It's the former one that used to be my bedtime alarm that would just basically wake me up at 6 o'clock or 6:05.
So it doesn't look like this. I don't know if you can see this very well.
Oh, well, see, that's the phone.
You're on something else?
I'm on my iPad. I use my iPad.
I don't know where that is on there.
Yeah, and maybe,
I can't imagine it's different. But anyway, if you hit that change button, you can still see it. There's that wheel. Well, they changed the colors on it, but it's still got that morning
interesting.
wheel.
Yeah, why don't I have that? That's
I don't know.
Really weird that it's because I can label it bedtime, which is kind of dumb.
Maybe
they just don't have it on the iPad anymore.
If you all right, I'll look at my iPad later and see what's up. That is weird. That
City was like, good eye, Brian. That's a phone. Well, here's the problem. There was a great wake up sound for that wake up thing, and it might be the one you're describing, the one that begins with do 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 do.
Yeah, it's nice and soft at first, and then it grows
out. It kind of builds. Yeah. What does it say that's called on your phone?
Mine is called. Hold on, one moment. Here we go.
Because I could not find that sound, and
early riser.
Early riser.
Yep, which is when you watch Mad About You too early in the day. That's early riser.
Yeah, very well done.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. Is that is no longer available as a wake up sound on the iPad.
Why?
Which is really dumb. It's like, okay, why can't I do early riser on my iPad?
Let me see. I'm gonna tell you all the ones I have, and you tell me if any of these are missing. So early riser, you say is missing.
Yeah.
First Light, Helios.
It's in the health app. I don't have the health app.
On
the iPad, people. I'm just heading off a few things at the pass there. Sorry, keep going.
So First Light, Helios, Orbit, Birdsong, Droplets, Sunny, Springtide, and Bright Eyed. Now Bright Eyed, I think. Here, hold on. No, I'm gonna find the horrible one.
Oh, I know. You know which one's the horrible one? I'm going to tell you exactly which one's the horrible one. It's the one that goes dirt, 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 dirt. You know that one?
I don't know.
I'm finding it.
I don't know that one. Mine was like a full-on like, oh no, the virus has escaped the CDC fence. Get to a safe house.
Here it is. That's called Summit. Summit is the worst.
Well, that's horrible. Yeah, and ain't nobody waking up to that.
Yeah. Oh, we'll put some birds in there and it'll make it a little bit better. But
otherwise, it sounds like psycho clowns coming down the road.
It is psycho clown wake up noise.
Oh, yes. I don't like that. No, sir, I don't.
Yeah. So here's what I did when I couldn't find the one that I wanted.
Yeah.
In there, I said, well, I can go in and just choose a song that I've got on my iPad.
Sure.
And one that I really, really like is the song "Step" by Vampire Weekend. I really like the way that song begins. It's slow build and it's great, and it's just a great. Oh yeah, hold on a second. I certainly don't. It's thinking I want to keep Summit as my wake up sound. No effing way. Change that immediately. The song "Step" by Vampire Weekend.
Yeah.
Well, even though I played it and listened to it on my iPad as I was setting things up yesterday to wake up to that song, I woke up to like, oh, well, here's one we think you'll like.
Yeah, here's one.
Your song is unavailable for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Here's the song we think you'll like instead.
Yeah.
How about the worst one?
Yeah, how about this one?
Second worst one.
It announces a cave troll is loose in the laboratory.
That's right, exactly. How about this jaunty melody?
Yeah.
We put some birds in there, so it sounds like morning.
It reminds me of high school because we all had one of those, the things that you had to like get up and hit, and oh man, those were the days.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
That sucks. So anyway, I'm gonna have to figure out. Yeah, I don't know why. I'd be totally down with the health app being. I don't know why the health app is not included as part of iPad OS.
That must be the difference. I can't imagine why it's not though. But I guess I don't know. Now that I think about it, I don't know what I would use it on my Pro for. But maybe somebody can tell us why that's.
Yeah, I mean it's the way that I have my phone and my iPad on my nightstand.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot easier for me to turn off my iPad making noise to wake me up before Tina starts getting pissed.
Wake me up.
Now it's a matter of sorry, Tina. I want to wake up to what'd you call it? Early riser, polarizer.
Early
so
polarizer,
it's aliens.
Yeah.
No, what's another early polarizer thing?
That might be the earliest polarizer for me, unless we're talking like stand up or something. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
What else did we do?
So listen to early polarizer and
I'm going. Yeah. So what's the deal with these peanuts on airplanes or something? That's early polarizer right there.
That's right, exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Well.
All right. Well, guess I got to do that.
Hope he's doing okay. Hey, we got an email that's very important. I must read it. Sometimes we get these. Lately, we've been getting great ones, and this has to be answered. So here we go.
Ooh, okay.
From Tanya. My name is Tanya. Sorry. You know that's because of this. Hold on. We have this old clip. Let's see if I have it. Yeah, here it is. This lady.
My name is Tanya.
My name is Tanya.
Don't know what that's from, but it's damn funny.
One of those weird old videos we found. Anyway, it says, hi guys, my best morning show in podcast history. Maybe it's the only one. Who knows? All right. Anyway, it goes on. That was very nice.
Wow.
Thank you, Tanya.
That is, yeah. Thank you for the compliment.
I don't think we're the only one. I don't know if we are. Maybe we are.
No, I'm sure we're not, because I'm sure that a lot of people have done morning shows since they heard TMS.
Yeah, they
morning show
copied us.
podcasts,
Yeah.
and
They just
and
stole it.
None of them are as good.
Yeah, they just stole it and just tried and
Exactly.
failed. Yeah. Anyway, it says this.
We have a movie segment on Wednesdays called Suggestamentals.
Where we suggest a mental something for you to watch from streaming services.
Do Todd and Aaron count, by the way?
Oh, I don't know if they do or not.
Not quite a podcast.
I'm gonna
All right,
say
anyway,
no.
please,
I'm gonna
please
say
continue.
no,
I've
they
interrupted
don't.
you enough.
I think they don't count, and that's a terrible thing to say. All right. It says, my question is this. What thing do you think you would love to have that will probably be a problem pretty quickly? Says Tanya. Now, it's an interesting question, kind of hard to suss out, but I think this is what it means.
What think you would love to have that will probably be a problem pretty quickly?
Right. So you might say, I want to be made out of chocolate, and then you forget you live in Arizona and you're going to melt. Or
okay. So we're how fantasy, like how
we can go pretty far,
unrealistic are we talking? Or can we say, it'd be really nice to have a pool, but then the problem would be that I'd have to keep that thing clean and it's like how realistic or how crazy,
how out there.
Yeah.
Well, my thought was I would love to have an extra 8 hours a day. But then I thought, because the reason that feels like this matches this question, because it seems like that would just become a problem. Humans have this tendency where we just move into empty space. If there's empty space, we move into it. We don't look at it and go like.
Right.
I did this when I jumped out on my own, left the full-time job, and started doing this in 08, 09, full-time. Suddenly, all that 8-hour workday, which I couldn't do this stuff with, and I was filling the rest of my nights with, it was open, and I went, "Oh, look at all that room! I'll just," and then I immediately filled it up, and that was not great for me. Like I ended up kind of burning out a little bit for a while there, and had to like consolidate some as a result. So that's maybe a good example and a realistic.
It's kind of
one.
like the variation on the Peter principle, right? You'll always rise to your level of incompetence. We'll always figure out a way to fill all of our free time.
Yeah, whatever free time or space, even like we fill in space.
Yeah.
We're like, oh well, let's turn that beautiful field into a suburb, or let's build let's pave paradise and put in a parking lot. As the
they
song
should
goes.
write a song about that.
Yeah, they really should. It goes right off the tongue. So what would you say? What do you think would be a thing you want, but then would probably be a problem later?
Yeah, on the fantasy level. it's funny because I feel like a clone would be super helpful for a few hours, but then it's like, oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of problems I didn't think about the clone. Like, where's he gonna sleep, and what kind of rights and what rights should he have in this house? He's a clone.
Yeah,
It's not his fault he's a clone.
yeah. Like what? That's a great one. That's a great one because if you had a clone, and let's say he's a completely like-minded clone, that would be good because you could say, all right, you go do this half of stuff, which I would normally try to do if I were you, but now that there's two of us, we can divide and conquer here. So you go ahead and do that. I'll do this. But then at what point are you at what point is this a slave master situation? You know, like there's all kinds of ethical questions about that.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. I mean, and yes, I have seen Living with Myself, and I have seen Multiplicity, and I know the problems that can come up when funny actors have clones who also want to sleep with their wives. There's all sorts of problems that come into play.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't even think of that. Where's he going to sleep?
So maybe a robot version of me. So like the Bill and Ted robot me.
Okay, robot you.
The robot us's, but it would just be the robot me. And I could turn it off at night. Right. So it'd still have my knowledge of how I do things. It'd be like, all right, you work on these ads. I'm going to do some podcast prep or whatever. Yeah. And then he goes off and does that. And then, 10:30, 11 o'clock rolls around at night. It waits for me to turn on in the morning.
We just have to have some rules. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Robots never problematic, are they, Claire?
No. They don't. They're never going to rebel or.
There's many things that I think that we would love to have that would probably be a problem really, really quickly. Yeah,
there's a lot of people that just like they want to be instant millionaires. I have no idea what that'll do.
I think the money is a huge one, right? Because you'd say, give me access to unlimited funds. Well, then all of a sudden it's like, all right, great. I can afford to do all the things I want, but now I have like all these relatives who are reaching out saying, "Hey, can you help me out?" And I've got
No, it opens up cans of worms. You didn't know you had those cans. You didn't know.
I guess, I would help out my relatives.
Of course you would.
Yes.
Oh, that just reminded me of something. Spending a lot of money reminds me of Vegas. Vegas reminds me of you. And I had a conversation, a very brief one on Twitter with Mitsula. And since you're off Twitter, you weren't party to this.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring it up here. Mitsula says the test for a true Las Vegian, whatever, somebody who really, really, really belongs in Vegas, is this test. He says you need to have met Flavor Flav or Flava Flav at some point, run into him somewhere on the strip because he lives in Vegas and he's always out on the strip. And if you run into him, then you qualify. And I said, well, Mitsula, have you done this? He says, not only have I done that, I bumped into him while he was talking to Ron Jeremy in the MGM. Or somewhere. I forgot what casino he said. So him, Ron Jeremy, and Flava Flav all kind of had a little three-way.
Yeah, boy!
And so the question is, Brian Ibbett, one of the most Vegas-y people I know, have you ever bumped into Flava Flav on the Las Vegas Strip?
I was in the MGM Sportsbook with Flava Flav at the same time.
I think that counts.
We never got any closer. I don't know how close he got to me. But when I was aware of where he was, is like, oh, he's way over there on the other side with an entourage of people around him.
Right.
But that was the same time I actually had so I had a table and I had like 8 games going on, right? Yeah. 8 football games simultaneously that I was betting on at the same time. And the sportsbook is the perfect place to be because you've got all those TVs you can watch and say, all right, well, nothing's going on the Cardinals game. Let's look over here at the Saints game. All right, Saints. And
Sure.
There was a boxer and his manager that sat down at my table because I had a round table and the place was busy. And I said, oh, yeah, sure. Have a seat.
Yeah.
And the manager said, hey, do you know who this is? And I said, no. He says, oh, his name is, and here's the problem. I can't remember what the guy's name is. But he's a boxer. You should Google him when you get a chance. And I said, oh yeah, I totally will. And
it really stuck with you after that.
It really stuck with me. It did turn out to be somebody, not not Muhammad Ali famous or not George Foreman famous, but up there.
Yeah, up
No,
and
definitely
coming,
not
maybe.
Holyfield.
Sure.
I mean, it was like it was a name that I hadn't heard before, but when I saw what his deal was like, oh, okay, hey, wow, this is a pretty,
Sure.
pretty cool business.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, basically by that time they'd already left. They'd made their bets. They hung out with me, had a drink, and then left.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Flava Flav, not bumped into, no closer than John Cusack and Iona Sky in the food court, having lunch together before they met in Say Anything.
Great comparison. Here's the rule, though: if you ever do see him and you're within your distance to sort of get up and talk to him,
Sure.
first question out of your mouth is,
Do you have the
"Excuse
time?"
me, do you have the time?" Yeah, you have to do that. That's required. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And
anyway,
he'd say,
so
yeah, boy, and he'd look down and he'd say, I wonder, do you think he wears the clock all the time? I didn't see if he had the clock on that time.
I don't know. I would have assumed. I mean, I assume that's his whole thing. So my assumption is that yes, but I don't actually know. Maybe Flava Flav takes. Maybe the rest of it, it's his time. He doesn't need that clock on his time. Like he's got his own watch on his wrist, and he's like, "I'm good. I don't need a giant clock to tell me what time it is anymore." I don't know. I don't know what he does.
God, who have I met? I mean, it's hard. It's hard for me to say. Well, I've met Pete Rose and I've met Gail Sayers in Vegas because I did website work for both of them. The late Gail Sayers just passed away this last weekend.
Oh, geez, that was recent. I didn't know about that. All right.
Yep. But I'm trying to think if I've met other celebrities or like just bumped into other celebrities there who were not like the people I was going to see,
Right. No, that makes sense. Well, I mean, so Mitsula, you have to weigh in on this. I think he's listening. He'll hear this at some point. Can you tell us if Brian qualifies because he was in the same vicinity as
is
him?
is it allowable by proxy?
Right.
It's funny. There's a book on tape, but there's a audiobook.
There's a book on tape.
There's a book on tape. There's an audiobook I need to record.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out how to schedule the time to do it. And one of the things that I was considering doing is going somewhere away from the house, away from all of these other distractions and responsibilities, taking my good microphone, mixer, laptop, and I've got this really cool, like, portable curved sound screen thing.
Yeah.
So I can be in a hotel room and not make it sound like I'm in a hotel room. And I was thinking about doing like a Airbnb at Vidara or MGM Signature, one of the non-gaming, non-smoking hotels.
Yeah.
And going there for like a week just to isolate and do that sort of thing. But I know, Tina would still make me sleep in the basement for a week until we were sure I didn't have any COVID.
So that's true. And Brian's not saying this, but the book he's talking about is the great collection of Penthouse forums from the 80s.
That's right.
So it's going to be a lot of...
Dear Penthouse Forum, I never thought this would happen to me.
Just doing that in the hotel.
A small young woman with firm, pouty breasts, and I work in a library. This is exactly how I do the audiobook, by the way, in that voice.
Yeah, I was going to ask if that was going to be the affectation you would.
That would be the affectation.
All right. I'm in on that. Quick shout out to our coffee pal. I want to say hey to AJ. And big thanks to Kahawa. I never say it right.
I know. I almost want to say Kawaha, but it's Kahawa.
Kahawa Roasting Company at kahawaroastingcompany.com. They sent... So I got mine. And it's great. I even tasted it, and I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that I tasted a coffee that I liked.
What?
Normally I hate coffee, so well done, guys. Anyway, my wife loved it, and it's super awesome. They have this great mission statement, is to produce and sell specialty coffee as a vehicle to connect with our new refugee neighbors and help them transition to our community. Our end goal is to develop entrepreneurs and grow refugee-owned businesses in our community. And they say as a business... we all know we are successful when we have a crew leaving our business to go start their own projects. I love that idea. You're just kind of helping train the next generation of people. Anyway, they're awesome, and you should go check them out. That's KAHAW so Kahawa
Kahawa.
Roasting Company, or roasting.com. That's where you want to go.
And Scott, I'm going to tell you something really cool.
What's that, Brian?
Starting tomorrow, we have 5 bags of Kahawa coffee that we're going to be giving away as part of our prize packages for Babel Royale. So
Ooh.
you will get a bag of coffee as part of your prize package.
Very nice.
I guess that's really, I think I said it all right there.
That's very,
Courtesy
very
of
cool.
Kahawa coffee.
Yeah, go read all about their stuff. It's a very different approach, and I like what they're doing. So anyway, big thanks to them again, and to AJ in particular for reaching out and sending us those. Okay.
Super, super nice.
Very cool. Also, we got William wrote in, we got a Travis Scott meal correction.
Oh, good.
well,
Thank goodness, because
Not so much corrections, like shedding some additional details.
explanation or elaboration.
Yeah, because I was just like, well, what is this? Just a few food items thrown together?
Yeah, we thought it was like, oh, they just give you a packet of barbecue sauce, and
Yeah, it seems
apparently there
super
is
dumb.
Way more than meets the eye.
It
yes.
seems really dumb, but apparently it's more to it. So he says the difference between the regular quarter pounder and the one that is in the meal is that the lettuce and tomato, bacon, eggs, barbecue sauce, I read that wrong. The
yeah,
one
you
in
skipped
the
a bunch of
meal
words.
is that it has that it has. Okay, there we go. That it has lettuce and tomato and bacon and eggs and barbecue sauce, which the Thunder quarter pounder didn't have. I think he means the other, not the Thunder.
Oh, okay, good, because I think all quarter pounders give me the thunder, if you know what I mean.
Give you the morning thunder.
Thunder, thunder.
Let's see. Ordering that exact same meal comes out to about $9 because they charge you extra for all those things to be added. So for $6, you were getting this decked out thing.
Well, crap.
Yeah.
Now I kind of want one,
Do
Scott.
you feel like you
People are
missed
saying
out?
that you can still get it via the app.
Oh, is that true? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to look at that. I wonder. DoorDash never let you buy it. I checked that, but let's see. I've got the McDonald's app right here, which is embarrassing. It says here.
Well, it gives you some good deals, Scott.
It sure does. Here we go. Okay, so I'm clicking in there. We got.
Penny JW still says it's a deal on the app.
Oh
What
yeah,
kind
there it
of a
is.
Deal on the app. You found it? Oh, there it is.
Uh-huh.
The Travis Scott meal.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, and they did that email
Scott.
did say yesterday that they stopped doing it in store promotion, but you could still do it on the app. That's right. That makes a sense. What, you're tempted? Is that what you're telling me? You want to
Tempted. I might have one of those for lunch today.
Sounds all right.
I could actually walk to McDonald's, get a little bit of exercise, get one of those stupid things.
Burn it off on your way
Burn
back.
it. Yeah. Burn about 1/10 of it off by walking there. It's not a bad idea, actually.
Slather yourself.
Oh,
in-
Claire Gack says, don't do it.
Oh,
It's for the show, Claire.
that's for the show.
It's
We
for
want
the
to.
show.
Yeah, everything is content, Claire. Come on. Everything is
That's
content.
right. Well, maybe.
Maybe we'll see.
It's funny how the I haven't gone to McDonald's in over a year,
Yeah.
but you tease me with, well, they're taking something away that you never had, but you'll never have a chance to have it again.
Yeah.
Oh,
That gets
now
you.
I want it though.
Yeah. It gets you. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know our tendency as human beings to want whatever we want. All right, speaking of what we want, I wanted somebody to tell me what the heck Van was saying in that audio clip where he kept repeating
Yeah,
stuff the
yeah.
other day. Somebody figured it out. I want to thank Motion Ride Music is the user name who sent me this. That was the name on the email, and he figured it out. So let's play it. This is what Van was saying that day that we heard him. Okay, so apparently it's this
Wow.
some sort of scat man deal.
That was some fantastic editing. Jeez. It was well done.
It's really good. I gotta remember.
That was way better than I was expecting.
I gotta send that to my daughter because she'll love that. And I totally forgot.
Well, we got another one in our email. Could you pull up your email real quick
Yeah.
and pull up the email that we received from Joel Siskovic
Joel Siskovic. Let's see what he
entitled
said.
Mashup Bumpers? If not, I
Uh,
can put one in the
Oh, I see it right here. Oh, we got a whole bunch of these.
whole bunch of them. The one I want you to open is Baby Van Clip Clear.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Let me download it. Okay.
Yeah.
Pulling it up here. Okay. This is great. I didn't know this was even in here. All right, I'm hitting play
Yeah.
on this now.
Clip in the snowball clip loss.
you're kidding me, dude. That's hilarious.
Isn't that the best?
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Also, I like how he kept Carter's little giggle at the end, which
Yeah.
is here. I'm play that again.
In the snowbird clip loss.
Yeah, he kept the little laugh at the end. I love it.
By the way, the other 4 in there are great as well if you want to play them. One of them is the one we've already heard, but we can zip through them. We got time, right?
Yeah, we got a little time. Let's see. I'll just download.
Oh, except that you got to download them all to play them on the show.
Yeah, that's true.
I gotcha.
Here, we'll try this one.
Then you shall have no treaty, no vaccine, and no
Sausage.
Oh, these are great. I'll go check these all out later. Very cool. Thanks, Joel, for
So well done.
for doing that. That's awesome. I didn't see this email this morning. All right. Where else are we here? Oh, that's it. We have email. We have news. You want to do news? Let's do news.
We had email.
We had
now
email.
we have news.
Now we have news. Here you go. Here's this. Time for the news, brought to you by.
Brought to you by Soundography. We had Thomas Chambers, aka Trump Poll, in our Tadpool as a visitor, as a sponsored guest on our episode of Soundography that just posted this morning. It is us listening to Avril Lavigne's "Let Go" album. Hey, let go! I think that's what she means. She's just like, hey, come on, let go, let go.
Let
We
go,
get off-
Chad Kroger. Let go. And he did.
Let go,
in 2015. Yeah.
Songs like Complicated, I'm With You, Skater Boy. I think that's how you pronounce that.
Yeah.
And more. And we talk about it. We listen to all of it, and we talk about it on this episode of Soundography at soundography.com.
Nice. I have to admit, I kind of like Avril Lavigne music.
I do too. It took listening to this album to like give me a new appreciation for her. She was always like, okay, yeah, she's got talent. She's actually got a unique voice in a sea of pop artists who all came out around the same time, who all kind of have the same kind of voice.
Yeah.
But she's kind of got a different voice from all of them, and recognizable and likable, and
sets her apart
it's a
a
good
little
album.
bit. Yeah.
Dang it, it's a good album.
Yeah, it is. Dang it. Okay, look at this photograph, everybody. We got an email to do. Or not an email, a news story. I
Not an
keep
email.
saying email. Why do I keep doing that? What's wrong with me? All right, we got a news story. Cracker Barrel. When's the last time you went to one of those?
I'll tell you exactly when. It was on the way to Nerdtacular. Whichever the last Nerdtacular that we drove to, we had a caravan of people.
Did you drive in 2017 or did you guys fly? I don't remember because I know.
Oh, we drove to Nerdtacular 2017.
Because I know Tina was in the middle of treatments and stuff.
We've been flying to Vegas, but we were driving to Nerdtacular.
Gotcha.
And on the way, we stopped at a Cracker Barrel, and everybody piled in, and some
Great.
people got grits.
Oh, they got grits, did they? So
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
grit. They got bad grits, is what you're saying.
Bad grits,
Yeah.
bland bland goo that makes you never want to try grits again.
Well, good news for everybody who likes their Cracker Barrel experience. They've now added alcohol to its menu for the first time in the company's history. Next time you go order Mama's Pancake Breakfast, you can add a mimosa to your order, literally. Cracker Barrel is getting bubbly with an addition of beer, wine, and mimosas in its menu for the first time in the company's 51-year history. So when 68, 69, that thing was founded? Jeez. The Old Country Store restaurant chain began testing the concept starting before the coronavirus pandemic. According to the report, after adding beer, wine, and mimosa to the menu at more than 100 locations, the company is making the change permanent and doing it nationwide. It helped that the overall response from customers was overwhelmingly positive. Made the decision to allow most locations to partake in adult beverages a no-brainer.
Yeah, well, you get drunk and then you get on one of their rocking chairs on the front porch.
Yeah.
And lays the day away.
Yeah, you just tell stories and I don't know. What do you do on there? You just sit there.
You just sit there, whittle. Maybe you whittle.
Oh, you could
Maybe you
whittle.
go to the gift shop and get a hunk of wood and a knife, and you whittle.
You'd probably have to bring your own knife, right? Probably.
I don't imagine that they will let you take one of their knives outside. One of their steak knives. Or
One of
butter
their steak knives? No? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think
probably
they'd be
not.
good at whittling. You know who's good at whittling? Just a side note. My father-in-law is an incredible whittler.
Really?
Oh, man. Yeah, he can take a wood and turn it into whatever you need. Just go for it. Yeah, it's great.
Wow. Okay.
Just that's a fun little side thing to tell you about. All right, moving on. By the way, the alcohol sales are mostly targeted at the dinner crowd, but Cochran said, this is the representative for Cracker Barrel. He's the CEO. Oh, she is, rather. Sarah Cochran. Zephram Cochran, the discoverer of Warp Drive. But Cochran said the mimosas would become quite popular with breakfast and lunch as well. So if you want to go get your hooch on at
There you
a
go.
Cracker Barrel.
Here's when they cut you off, and thank you, Win Magus, for reminding me about this. But here's when they cut you off of the alcohol: when you're not able to solve their little peg game that they have at every single table.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was even. I have to make an admission here. I've only done Cracker Barrel or been there twice in my entire life, and I don't know why it's only been those 2 times. And one time was a lunch thing years ago in the 90s, and then. Before that, I think I was a little kid, and that's it. And there's just never been anyone around me that's like, you know what we need to do? We got to get to Cracker Barrel. Stat.
Nobody
like,
ever says
never
that.
happened.
I mean, it's like, oh man, I've been driving all morning. I'm really hungry. What's at the next stop? A Cracker Barrel? Okay, yeah. I can count the number of times I've been there on one hand.
They must do okay, right? Like
they do. They pull in the we like getting up early and we like the bland food crowd. Nothing too flavorful, please.
Yeah, y'all gonna make sure this here grits taste like dirt, because I ain't having it.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, I could see that.
Could you please make me a plate of eggs and bacon with no seasoning, spices, or flavor of any kind? Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is the American.
Undercook the bacon, please, and the eggs while you're at it, please.
Well, they're very polite, though, these people that
They
you've
are.
made up. Yeah, I like them.
Yes.
A neighbor called 911 in Florida when Florida hockey fans were yelling "shoot, shoot."
Whoops.
Yeah, they thought it meant that there was a shooter, perhaps.
Yeah.
Neighbor called sheriff's deputies after some rabid Tampa Bay Lightning fans were screaming "shoot, shoot." This reminds me of that hockey or that soccer story I told years ago. Do you remember this? Where my kids are playing soccer, and I think I told it here, where there was a Hispanic guy who was so excited about the team and what was going on, and anytime they would get close to the goal, he would yell, "Shoot! Shoot!" And I thought it was awesome. I loved it. I couldn't wait for him to say it again. Like, I'm like, hurry, get that ball down the other side of the field so I can hear that guy go, "Shoot! Shoot!
Shoot. By the way,
Yeah.
congrats to the Tampa Bay Lightning for
what-
winning the Stanley Cup last night.
Yeah, well done, guys.
Yeah.
Carried it off and licked it and kissed it or whatever they do. What do
Whatever
to
they
it?
do, but they did it in the bubble, and that's what's important.
That's
now
true.
they can leave the bubble.
They can leave the bubble and go back to their old lives. Yeah, no, that's great. Well done, Lightning. You know what I fully intended to do this year? When March hit and things got weird, I said to myself, when all the sports decide to have whatever limited stuff they do, I'm going to actually pay more attention this year to just more leagues. I was going to pay attention to hockey, and I was going to pay attention to football and blah, 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 all this other stuff. And there's still football to, pay attention to. But I failed at that. I just kind of lost the thread and just didn't pay attention. And it kind of bums me out because I thought it'd be a good escape. It's like, follow a team, get excited, watch some playoffs. I love hockey, so I should watch more hockey, and I just didn't do it. I don't know why I didn't do it.
You know what you could have watched through most of COVID and actually started watching again is the West Ham United Hammers.
Oh, look at you with your sudden love of international football.
Your son, that's true actually. But I've been totally digging. I mean, that's I
I
started
think it's
watching
great.
it during.
I think it's awesome that you're doing that. I wish I was
Yeah.
doing that.
They play tomorrow. They play the Everton, whatever's.
This is what Brian does. Brian is so into up till now, not a giant soccer fan, haven't really followed it, right? But now you're really into the following it. You're rooting for your team. He's got a damn shirt now.
Well, and this was a birthday present from my dad because I was asking him like, all right, which team should I root for? What was the closest team? What's the closest team to where you were born? And he said, well, West Ham. And I'm like, cool. I was kind of thinking about West Ham anyway. I like the colors.
Yeah.
I like the maroon and gold. It's a good combination.
Yeah.
And
it's a good
and
cut
Claire,
of pork.
Claire Gack in the chat room really doesn't like that I chose them over Liverpool.
Oh, really? That's too bad.
Yeah, she really
Liverpool,
wanted me
that's
to
where the
go with
Beatles are
Liverpool.
from. Nobody likes them.
Everybody likes Liverpool because it's easy to like Liverpool They're always number one in the league or in the top five.
I know so little about international soccer. I know like what's the one you always hear British people talk about?
It's Manchester United.
Yeah, Manchester United
Yeah.
is all I know.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
it. They're United. They're from Manchester.
Right, exactly.
I
Yes.
don't know what they're doing. I don't know what this is.
But yeah, so it's fun if you've got somebody. Don, my trivia buddy, got me into watching the games because he was a big Norwich fan,
Yeah.
and so when we went out to Chicago for Geek Bowl this year at the beginning of March, was it? Wow,
February,
the
wasn't it?
last time I left the state.
Yeah.
For Geek Bowl, we went to an Irish pub and watched the entire game. And he's like, I knew the basics of soccer, right? You got to kick it, get in the goal,
Kick
and
that
it's a
ball.
point.
Yeah.
And then goes off sides. The other team gets to throw it based on who was the last person to touch it, and corner kicks and stuff like that. But
And
there was a lot of nuanced
vuvuzelas.
stuff
You
that I
knew about the
didn't know.
vuvuzelas, right? You were aware of those.
Vuvuzela, not so many of those in the English Premier League. Much more of those in Spain, Brazil, Italy.
South
that
America
business.
and that stuff. Yeah.
But anyway, it was actually like understanding the game gave me a new appreciation for it, and I was like, okay, I'm really digging this. I want to watch more of it.
I think
And,
that's cool. So that's
yeah.
what I was going to try to do that to myself this year with hockey in particular, and I didn't do it.
Really?
I'm bummed
Okay.
out. I'm bummed out. I already liked hockey.
Would
so-
you have rooted for the Avalanche
probably would have
or the
rooted.
Golden Knights since they're now closer to you?
See, this is the problem now. We have the same problem with Denver, with the Broncos and with the Raiders now. So
Right.
it used to be that we would just default to Denver teams when I was growing up because you guys were just close. You had proximity and nothing else. We had our own NBA team, but everything else was we had to do, whoever's closest or whatever, except Green Bay, who I always liked. But, oh my gosh, I have to tell you a funny story, but I can't tell it on the air.
Wow. Okay.
It's really funny. I'll tell you off air. Anyway, it's a Green Bay thing. But yeah, now I'm torn. I don't know if I should root for the Knights or for the Avalanche. But I can tell you this: when I play hockey video games, I pick Avalanche every time. So that counts for something, right?
There you go. That definitely counts for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything counts in large amounts.
Or is it just because they haven't added the Golden Knights to the hockey games you're playing?
Actually, good question. The last time, last year's game, I did play last year's game, and it had a minute.
You
So,
did? Okay. All right.
yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I remember being annoyed that they did so well in their debut season. I was annoyed. Is that weird to be annoyed by that? It's like
No,
actually,
it's
it's like
just because it's like, okay, they just brought in a bunch of ringers.
yeah. It was like, oh, you bought your way to a freaking almost Stanley Cup win. Or no, did they win? They didn't win. They barely lost.
They didn't. They did not win, but it was.
It was real close.
I'd say that's kind of cool because they're an up and coming team. They hadn't played those other teams before. I think that's a thing you root for.
Yeah. I also like the Red Wings and the Flyers. I like hockey. I really do like hockey, and I'm bummed that I didn't pay more attention. Is the point? Anyway, this person thought this guy was yelling "shoot," and so the cops came.
Shoot! Shoot!
What they were really saying was
Shoot! 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 Shoot the puck!
shoot the puck, everybody. One more story here, then we'll take a break.
Sure.
This is related, actually. Loud
It is.
bangs in a trailer park turn out to be ravioli cans.
So many stories about people who think other things, think innocuous things are gunfire or violence.
Yep, turns out that's a thing. You also missed a thing on Twitter. Missoula posted a video. I guess at the MGM, there have been like nightly fights breaking out
Oh, really?
in the
Okay.
middle of gambling. Just like at the tables and stuff.
Sure.
Like full-on brawls, knocking tables over, somebody pounding on the dealer, another guy beating another guy
Oh
up.
my God! Really?
Yeah, he says things are a little weird in Vegas right now. He says the people are just are on edge, and then add into that they're some of them might have a gambling problem and are losing and are pissed, and like we're just kind of hitting the ceiling there a little bit. It looked gnarly. I'm like, man, Brian, maybe the MGM don't go yet.
Maybe not. Yeah, maybe I don't want to go to the signature.
Give it a minute. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez.
Anyway, loud bangs heard in the trailer park while in White Deer Township, Union County, turned out to be not gunfire or fireworks, but Chef Boyardee ravioli cans. The good stuff with weird orange sauce in it.
Those are the ones that were shooting at each other?
Yeah, those are the ones. Pennsylvania State Police at Milton were dispatched to a residence and says this is about 3 a.m. Nothing good happens then.
No.
Troopers investigated and found an unknown suspect had thrown 3 Chef Boyardee ravioli cans at the residences and damaged rear windows. The cans had struck a metal trailer located behind the residence, which caused the loud noises. Trooper Dustin Spangler is investigating the criminal mischief incident.
Geez, so
Dustin Spangler.
it's not. Yeah, I mean, it was still some violence. It just wasn't gunfire or anything, but it's still people like throwing cans at trailer homes.
Yeah, and they're
Jeez.
heavy cans of ravioli.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a can would hurt. It would hit you in the head and hurt.
Just ask Fred.
Yeah, ask for. Just ask Fred.
Is Fred a person of interest now?
Yeah,
because of this?
of course, always. Hey, Brian, we should probably take a break here, and when we come back, we'll do some time with jury. I don't want to make it sound like prison because it isn't. It's a
We'll
great
do some
time.
time. We're doing time with jury.
Doing time with jury. After that, more fun stuff. So stick around. We got a song though. What do you got?
Yeah, Ian in Osaka.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
Nice boots. Nice boots.
This is the morning stream. Hold on to your butts.
All right, we're back, everybody.
Everybody.
We have returned. There was an 80s quality to that rapping there.
There absolutely was. Plus a lot of 80s stuff mentioned in that rap, too.
Yeah, that's how I rap.
That is how I rap, too.
The do.
Yes, exactly. He's like, he fortunately didn't go so far as to do the I'm da 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 that I'm here to say.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that. And the chicken tastes like wood. All right. Let's get jury in to this proceeding. Gonna get a little debate preview from him today.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
See what he has to say. He's pretty excited. I saw him jonesing
What
about this
kinds of
yesterday.
things are they going to be talking about?
During the debate.
These are their stories.
Do do diddly dee dee.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
Justin Robert Young joins us as he does each and every Tuesday to discuss all things political race to the November election and beyond. We always love hearing from Justin. Justin, good morning. How are you?
Who do you have in the chat here, in the Discord chat?
Me, you, and
No.
Oh, the photo?
Yeah.
That is Bridget Bardot.
oh yeah, we were remarking how she just had her 88th birthday or something, and we were just talking about how she, say, hey, look, this is what she used to look like. Here's what she looks like now. Get ready, everybody. We all age. I don't remember. the conversation
Dude,
was.
yeah, no, the wolves come for us all. But
yeah.
Bardot, man, what a fox.
She was a hottie, dude. She was so cute. All
She
right.
was, yeah.
Well, cuteness aside, well, this can be cute too. That's fine. Justin's here. We're always happy to have Justin, especially today. Feels
You
like
don't need to leave the cuteness aside when I'm here.
No, we can leave. We can put it right out.
Put
in
it front and center.
Yeah.
Objectify
Are
me.
Yeah.
Now, forgive me for asking, jury, because I know that sometimes this turns into a thing.
Okay.
Are you on a different mic?
Oh, he's not hot. His mic's just a little hot.
It's really tinny.
I
and
can
hot.
turn it. I can. Let me make sure that I'm on the right mic.
You're on the right mic for sure. You're just.
I think you're on the right mic because it does sound like.
No, I can turn it down a little bit for you.
You're better there. Did you change it already?
Yeah. How about? Well, yeah. I have the slider here right in front of me.
Oh, look
so
at him
I
sliding.
just
Yeah,
turn
he
it down.
slip slided.
Oh, you
right
sound
into
much. You sound like now we're getting highs and lows. We're
Yeah.
getting.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that. That's
now.
amazing.
Okay. Thanks for letting me interrupt for just a second.
It's
and-
all right.
and
The
do
chat
that.
room wouldn't shut up about it either. So now you guys can all chill out.
That's
hey,
kind of why I jumped in. I was like, because I could turn him down in Discord, but
Yeah, no big deal on our end. Okay, so tonight it's the big night. You seemed excited about this yesterday, and
I am.
Oh, can you? Okay, so two things today. I want to find out why you're excited. I want to find out what your coverage is going to be like, and then
Sure.
I want to see if you have any method of convincing me to watch it, because right now I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can watch this thing unfold in real time. I might be able to do highlights later or something, but I don't think I can watch this train wreck.
I have to say that this befuddles me.
Yeah.
Like, and not you, because I don't think that you are particularly, set aside from a general phenomenon where we have paid more attention to less important things about politics than two people who want to be president talking to each other.
Yeah.
For 4 years. 4 years.
Yeah.
In fact, less than 3 days ago, you texted me frantically wondering about Jared Kushner's Twitter account.
Yeah, there was this thing.
That was something that warranted your, at least a portion of your day enough that you wanted to ask me my opinion about it.
Yeah.
Really?
Let me give you some background on that. So that was I'm going to call that a relapse because I've been avoiding that stuff. And somebody sent me that. Some fan sent it and said, "Whoa, this tax stuff must be serious because Jared Kushner's deleted all of his tweets." I'm like, "Ooh, what does that even mean? Like, I was trying to get my head around it. Like, what would that even mean? Like, is there some weird reason? Were there things in there?" And then it turns out a guy with 170,000 Twitter followers has never tweeted a thing, retweeted anything, or liked anything. Jared Kushner just has an account with his name on it, and people follow it, but he doesn't use it for anything. And so people heard about the tax stuff and then immediately saw his account, went, "Oh my gosh, all his tweets are gone," and thought that meant that there were ever any to begin with, and there never were. And so when all that rigmarole happened, and it was happening in real time while I was texting you, I went, "Oh, okay." I relapsed. I was like an alcoholic who accidentally got a shot. And I didn't mean to, and I just quickly threw it up, and I went, "All right, I'm done. I'm out of there again." So it was a brief respite there. But no, I understand what you're saying. I think what it is for me.
Look. And I say this coming to you from somebody who was born of and was raised around an alcoholic. And as a kid, and I would go through our backyard and find tiny little liquor bottles where I was trying to play tag with my friends. I look at that Political Scott Twitter account and I see a lot of retweets. I see a lot of posts. So don't tell me
managing that account.
Don't tell me that this is a brief relapse and then all of a sudden I see you coming out of the bar the next day.
What needs to happen is that I need to just delete the account. I need to be done with it. And I think that's happening today, by the way. I'm going to retire that damn thing. I'm going to be done with it.
What is the joy you get out of it?
I don't get any joy out of it. I don't get any joy out of any of this process. None of this is joyful.
What is the duty you feel to it? What is the pull that brings you back to it?
Like I was saying last week, there's this thing about, can I actually do anything? And the answer is very little on the large scale of things. So like last week we talked about, I can do more just kind of around me, and I can't have a bigger, larger effect. But social media in general gives people the feeling, myself included sometimes, that you can, because you've got a voice that the whole world can hear all the way to the top. Somebody I don't know, Joe Biden could see my tweet. Donald Trump could see my tweet. Any number of people in high positions of power in office could see what I say there. And there's this notion or this illusion in your head sometimes that it's just possible that this will be the one. That if I retweet this or quote that or have a hot take on this, that'll be the one that could make a larger effect. And the truth is, I've come to believe more and more that that's just not true. It's just, you can't. But the instinct's still there. It happens. So at the end of all of that, or the end of all of this, I think I need to do that. I think I need to just park that thing and say, all right, that was where I would vent and be angry, but I think I'm okay now. I'm just going to push that over here and not deal with it. as it pertains to the thing tonight, whether I want to watch it or not, it's kind of like when somebody says, I'm having the same visceral reaction to not want to watch it as somebody saying, hey, you should watch this beheading video, or you should watch this. And that may sound extreme, but really, it's truly
that's wild. That is some wild stuff, man. I gotta tell you, because to me, this is the fillet of our process. It is usually the most interesting and the most educational that politics gets. Full stop. Like, you're not going to get this kind of entertainment out of a convention. You usually get a press release, right? Ever since they stopped picking the candidate at the convention, you don't get a ton of drama. Here is something where, aside from election night, you get a little stakes, you get a little pressure or performance under pressure from both people, and that's that. To me, I could do. It feels like what you're telling me to my ears is I filled up on bread and I'm really not hungry for dinner. Like I have
That's a funny way
like
of putting it.
gorged myself on all this other stuff, all of this little detritus that ping pongs around, and stories, some of which have merit. The tax story very much has merit. They got the goods. When Donald Trump comes out and says that's not the full picture, that means that they got most of the picture. This though, I mean, at the very least, I don't know. I find debates in general, and let's keep it at debates in general, to be very interesting, mostly because it is a art form that has evolved over the years that we've done it. I mean, remember, it was thought to be overpowered after the first one in 1960 that happened on television, and so they didn't do another one until the late 70s.
Yeah.
Nixon never did one. Ford, I guess Carter and Ford was the first one, but it's only one election cycle between Nixon and Kennedy, and Ronald Reagan hitting Jimmy Carter with "There you go again."
Yeah.
Like, that's how rapidly this thing has evolved. And from my perspective as somebody, and by the way, if for those of you who do not know, I have watched every single presidential debate.
Yeah.
I had to for the card game, and I rewatched a bunch of them for this cycle. So I have an appreciation for this form of political communication. Now, I understand that there's a lot of people, and you are one of them, that's very burnt out by it. And we can go into the reasons why I find this particular matchup interesting. But it is crazy to me that, because I don't think your opinion is a rare one here, Scott, that people are so kind of just disgusted by politics that they don't want to see, like, the idea of, hey, here's a more interesting version of what you've been paying attention to is repulsive.
Yeah. I think part of it, I'll bet if there's a Venn diagram, the people who feel like me and the people who don't, probably have never had chronic anxiety and or a panic attack in their life. They don't know what that feels like. Because I'll tell you what this feels like. And the chat room nailed it. Somebody said this is like watching a Borat movie or, Sacha Baron Cohen project. I have the same problem with those. I can't watch them because I know that they're. I know some of this is just me. It is a little head in the sand about it, right? But I just know what's going to happen. There's going to be confrontations and things, and people are going to say things where I'm going to have to stare at the underbelly of awful things. I'm going to have to see awful people say awful stuff when they think, and they're being, in the Borat case, they're being manipulated into doing it, which is its own brand of uncomfort for me.
I don't get the Borat thing. Why is it like a Borat movie?
The Borat movies were always
because of the people who are not part of the joke, who are brought into
Yeah, when
the
he
joke and
corners
being made fun of, and
But I mean, is there anybody that doesn't know exactly what they're doing amongst the 3 people that are going to be on stage tonight?
Well, no. I understand what you're saying.
Who's the
no, but
the
it's
mark?
more, but it's more the discomfort that comes from that.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
think
saying
I
they're
get
the
what-
same situation. I'm saying that again, see, I actually think this is actually probably a thing, and I admire it in people who don't have to deal with this. But Justin, you've always struck me as somebody who's probably never had a panic attack in his life. I could be wrong.
It's not true.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if you've had one, great. That's most people. But you also strike me as somebody who doesn't deal with like chronic anxiety, like serious anxiety, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a personal thing for everybody.
But you're exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly, and I'm not saying
I don't know.
I'm
I don't
not-
know where I would say my
Trigger.
self-loathing complex and what I would consider depression like has where it is. I don't know where it ranks
Right.
compared to other people because I can't look in other people's heads.
Right. Same here. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. My point is like
Although I guess it's a compliment.
No, it is a compliment.
It doesn't read like that.
But it is a compliment. What I'm actually saying is I wish this kind of stuff I wish I could face head on better. Whereas something like, people look at me standing up at BlizzCon 2018 in front of 28,000 people and couldn't, like, how do you do that and not melt into a pile of goo? I don't know. That was no problem. I had no problem with that. There was no anxiety around it. I was stoked about it. I got up there. I did it. Like, it was fine. And I don't know why that's different. So obviously everybody's got their strengths. You have a particular strength.
I guess, but here's my question. To me, the thing that brings me the most anxiety and questioning of whether or not I am even doing anything right or whether or not everything is falling apart for me is Twitter and social media.
Yeah.
So I can't fathom why you would want to bathe in that over and 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 over again, because that to me has no worth.
Yeah.
That's a message board,
Yeah.
right? And we've been around long enough on the internet to know that a message board, it's great when you want a community. It's great when you can meet people that are fun and you can get something from it. But it is at its most destructive when you are just refreshing because you're in a flame war with somebody else that you're never going to meet. I am continually blown away by why you want to indulge in that and not at the very least this other thing. Now, I am not saying if some people don't want to watch this debate, look, man, I ain't your dad. Like you don't have to watch it if you don't want to. I'm not here to explain it.
Right.
The initial question was why I think it's interesting or why I like it. If that makes me the worst person on the planet or an unfeeling robot, then I get it. Like, but that's what I don't get filling up on what is to me essentially empty calories that only ramps up the anxiety, that only ramps up the tension, that only ramps up the vitriol, and then not seeing the thing for which theoretically this has all been building to.
Yeah, it's so Quantum Feline in the chat summed it up pretty well. It says Justin is good at presenting the impartial presentation of a journalist while talking about politics. Scott puts his inner feelings and opinions on display, and I think that's A, number one, 100% true, and B, sometimes the way I express that is chaotically through social media. It is. I mean, you're right. You're totally right. There's no value in it. That's the whole journey I'm going through right now, is like coming to grips with that idea that it doesn't. And it's not that it's just me going there going, blah, and then hoping something sticks. Part of it is me trying to reason with people that aren't to be reasoned with. Some of it's trying to reason with bots that I don't know are bots. Sometimes it's me trying to reason with somebody who's so set in their ways, it doesn't matter what happens, they will never agree with what I have to say. But yet there's this thing in me that says there's a way to reach people. There's a way to connect with people. I'm going to find that way. The world has never had more ways for us to reach across divides and find each other and hold on and figure it out. And I can't stand the idea that that's improbable. It's not impossible, but it's more improbable than I give it credit for. And so I've got to just pull back and just like not worry about my role in that anymore.
So then let me ask you this question, because I would say in terms of your worth to our culture, right, however we might define it, that more people connect with you because of this show and shows like it. But this is the only show that would really spend any time talking about the debates in a long form conversation and not Twitter.
Right.
So is it taking away from your greatest platform to be so redlined because of social media that you now have no desire to watch the debate? Whereas in another world, if let's say social media didn't exist, you had the emotional capacity to watch the debate, and now you could connect with your audience because you would be able to talk to them about a thing that was the number one news story.
Yeah, I mean, that implies cause and effect. I'm not sure there's a connection there, but yeah, overall, I agree with you. Like, sure.
So I mean, but that's my point, though. If the point is connection, and the point is understanding and getting your point across and having all that happen, like I have in my, and this is, we're really getting into it. This is like more like a conversation I would have with Scott on the phone. Like personally, I very much believe that I need to, and I use the phrase like protect the franchise. The one thing that allows me to keep creating.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's ill-defined. Sometimes it's a connection of emotions and diet and sleep and anxiety and lifestyle decisions and work ethic and discipline and everything else that goes into that. That is all the franchise. And when that's out of whack, then I am doing, especially for us that are kind of self-employed, I'm literally like breaking the windows of this imaginary office and like unscrewing the wheels on the chairs. I'm doing that to myself.
Yeah.
I'm doing that to my thing. And that's the one thing that I would say for you is like when I like watch the political Scott thing, it's like, well, I mean, I certainly know that knowing you, that you're not getting done with that tweet of like the Cheeto needs to be thrown in the trash. Send. I know that you're not then putting both of your feet up and like tilting back with an Arnold Palmer and saying like, there we go. A relaxing day for Scott Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's you being fired up.
But I totally get what Scott's saying. There's an expectation that we do have about the debates tonight, or the debate tonight, which is that it's going to be that thing that we hate watching where Trump deflects, and basically doesn't answer a question that would actually make a difference if he were to answer it clearly. What's going on with your tax returns? Fake news, move on. And it's like, no, we want answers on that sort of thing. And then at the same time, the other side of things, I think we're hoping that we don't see Joe Biden not pulling punches to kind of play it safe. I want to, we're kind of, at least I am, afraid of seeing both of those things, and I don't want to watch it if it's going to be a train wreck.
But that's the thing, is to me, when you say it like that, what you're really worried about is much in the same way that you would worry about a sports game. Like that you would say, no, I'm worried my team's going to get blown out. Yeah. Like, I hate this other team. And they will likely beat me, and I am terrified. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but when that is the argument, then it's like, okay, well, look. And again, I'm not telling you anybody to watch the debates. Don't watch the debates. Like, I'm literally, it was just because that was the first question that was asked.
Sure.
Here, you want to, for anybody who does want to watch the debates, we've never seen styles like we are going to see tonight match up against each other. Donald Trump has consistently bulldozed other traditional politicians who have tried to wait their turn to talk. Joe Biden is probably the only other person who on that stage has done the same thing that Donald Trump has done against Sarah Palin, against Paul Ryan, and seized control of the conversation, had a conversation more directly with the camera than he did with his opponent. And it will be a fascinatingly interesting clash of styles, at least for me. Now, will we learn anything from this debate? Probably not.
Yeah.
But will we see both of these men under pressure with the eyes of the world upon them, performing in a way that we have not seen in the past? Absolutely. And I do think that at the very least, even if we look at our election as somewhat of a performative element, like that's a part of it. And I guess somewhere between me being a history nerd and me being a unfeeling hyena jackal laughing while society crumbles in the minds of people, like I enjoy watching that.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch, and it is for those reasons. I want to see how we kind of know how Trump does under pressure, and he just kind of spews verbal vomit and sometimes puts his foot in his mouth. And it is going to be interesting to see how that comes into play with Joe, as opposed to other people that he feels like he can kind of walk on and step over. So,
yeah, and he may well do that. He may not do that.
He's not going to. Nothing's going to change my mind on who I'm voting for.
Oh, I mean, no,
tonight.
but everybody, like, okay,
nobody. But see, that's okay. So no
vote. You don't have to pay attention if you don't want.
Well, okay, but
like,
this gets to the crux of my main issue here, then, and that is that they may not be what they are now for people, but the point of a debate is for people to watch it and go, all right, let's see what this guy says about this issue. Now let's hear his answer.
Sure.
I'm going to form an opinion or start to form one over these series of debates. So by the end, I'll know who I'm going to vote for. That's what these are for, but that's not what they are.
Well,
right?
Because the role of a debate has changed, and specifically a television debate has changed. Remember, I mean, it's funny when you watch back the 1961 with Nixon and Kennedy, the first one, the people that are asking questions are from like the Mutual Radio Network, because it was primarily a simulcast between both radio and television. My point being is that access to television and the amount of time in which people talked politics on television has grown exponentially from the first time that we ever did this, to the point where now not only is politics basically taking over news, right? News networks, 24-hour news networks are effectively 24-hour political networks, that the role of what these used to be don't really exist. Is anybody wondering what Donald Trump's opinion on this stuff is? Is anybody wondering what Joe Biden's opinion is on it?
This goes to my existential pain of it all. You are getting to the heart of it. And I know that that's me holding tight to old Pollyannish ideas. I know that, okay? And I know that it's naive of me and I should let go of it. But part of me is like, no, I want the news to report the news. That's their frickin' job. I want politicians to tell me what they're going to do to make lives better for people that they are the people who will be their constituency. That's what I want. But that's not what it is anymore. And I'm having a hard time just accepting that. It's just hard.
Well, but they're doing that. Like they are. There's. I don't think anyone's lacking for political coverage. I don't think anybody is lacking for the amount of messaging that each of these campaigns has done. Maybe slightly on the Biden side because they've talked a little bit less than Trump has. But I think they've got websites. They've all said it. The role of the debates has changed, where now this is more of a personality clash. And if that is something that on its face, it's not like, I guess my point is nothing was ever taken away. This does mean something different, but nothing died for it. If anything, the elements that we pay the most attention to are because we reward them with our attention. We reward the slam dunks, I can't believe that, like Joe Biden's press secretary to Donald Trump's request, that a ridiculous request that Joe Biden be drug tested, said, oh, well, this is a debate that'll be answered in facts and not urine. Just because Donald Trump has pissed away his opportunity to save 200,000 people doesn't mean that he deserves the right to ask anything, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, finally, we've heard a lot of Joe Biden solemnly saying that Donald Trump should feel bad about how he handled COVID, but now it involved like we were thrilled, right? Like it got retweeted and it became like this big thing. So like we are the ones. This is what we want. And I guess that's where I am genuinely befuddled, because like that's the stuff that gets retweeted. That's the stuff that gets commented on. That's the stuff, the gossipy, ooh, no, you didn't, like kind of stuff is what like circles the world. I didn't decide to do that. I don't particularly even like it all that much. Like I would rather them at least say that stuff to each other's face than have us all go back into our little camps and act like every stupid little snide tweet and retweet is the most hilarious or democracy destroying thing that's ever happened on the planet. But it sure seems like a lot of other people are. And I don't get where now it's like, no, it can't be entertainment. Please let me go back to very solemnly retweeting the piss joke.
Yeah, no, I can't argue with that. I will say this for context. I loved The West Wing. I've seen the entire series 6 times or something. And late in the final season, they do this interesting thing. Alan Alda plays a Republican who's running for president. He's great in that role. And running against him is Jimmy Smits. We're at the end of
Bartlett's.
President Bartlett's run. His 8 years is up. And
Yeah.
So they're focusing on these two, and they decide to do an entire episode, which apparently was filmed in real time with no editing. And
they did a live debate.
They did a live debate. They basically recreated the live debate, and they did it very effectively. That made me uncomfortable. So I guess I'm not asking anyone to worry about my comfort. Okay, I get it. I'm just saying this may give you some context into even the fake debate with mudslinging at a very low level compared to what you're probably going to see tonight. Even that makes me go, oh, it's cringy. I can't do it. I have to skip past it. I can't.
Yes.
I can't do it. So
now that we're done with the preamble, this is gonna be a shit show. Like it is.
Yeah.
It is. This is if you watch Biden versus Palin, watch Biden versus Ryan, like at the time, what Joe Biden was doing to Paul Ryan was looked at as norm defying because he was like laughing and smiling and joking and interrupting him and stuff like that. Now it seems like, hey, look, here's a Mecha Godzilla to attack the Godzilla that has been rampaging through politics for the last 5 years.
yeah.
So the question is exactly, how that plays out, which, like, honestly, I don't know. And this is something that I really haven't been able to say about any debate in my interest in politics. You usually know, all right, well, they're both just kind of going to be them. And maybe, George W. Bush is a little more of a cool cucumber than the huffy Al Gore.
Yeah.
And that winds up playing out.
Right.
Or Kerry is boring compared to the ignorant, W or something like that. Romney. The one thing that I will say is that in general, there is this curse that incumbents do crappy in their first debate.
Yeah.
This happened with W and Kerry. This happened with Obama and Romney. So if history tells you anything, it is that, especially when there's a lot on the president's plate, which I think that we can easily say, that this is something that usually raises its ugly head in the first debate.
6 p.m. Pacific tonight, is it? Just to give people
I believe
a time?
it is 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern time, live from Cleveland, Ohio. There will be an 80-person audience. So there will be some people that will all be tested by the Cleveland Clinic, but it will be in person. Everybody will be on the stage together, and your moderator tonight is Chris Wallace of
From
Fox
News. All right, so those 80 people, I'm just curious, do we have any idea how they're selected or how that works? Do you volunteer for that?
I don't know offhand. I presume it's either campaign bringing 40 people.
It would be great if it's nothing but TikTok.
TikTok teens?
TikTok teens.
Just
BTS
K-pop
stands.
stands, and they're all just like yelling for BTS. And,
It'd be amazing, dude.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that there's not the applause that slows things down. I'm hoping that with 80 people, those 80 people know, all right, hold your applause till the end of this.
I would hope so as well. I think it gets unfortunate. We rewatched on the Twitch channel last night, Clinton Trump 2, and it really adds an unnecessarily annoying factor when one group of people starts cheering, and then that means that the other group of people needs to try and cheer louder, and then they both have to get yelled at. And I saw somebody in there saying, "Oh, it's Fox News, it's not neutral." Chris Wallace not only has a reputation for being an even-handed moderator, but also has had a adversarial relationship with Donald Trump. So, and I think the Trump campaign specifically asked him to not be a moderator this time. So that is not necessarily the Fox. It's not like Sean Hannity or Tucker Carlson is
exactly.
moderating the
I have another
debate.
question for Donald Trump. What's your favorite color and why?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Donald, do you think that Joe Biden's favorite color is the blood of a police officer?
Exactly.
Yeah, I like Chris Wallace anyway, generally, so I think he's the right guy to have in there.
He's a good choice.
We'll see if I can muster it up before 6. I don't know. I just can't decide.
7 for us.
7 Mountain.
7 for you guys. Yeah, look, this is not a political show, so like if people have already made up their minds and don't want to watch, like don't watch. Politics is not like I feel like sometimes I come on here and it's an issue where I seem to be defending the concept of politics. Like you don't have to pay attention if you don't want, and nor do I think that you should if you don't want. Like the only thing that I ever want to offer to people is just to understand where some of the strategy in these processes comes from and what they're trying to do. And therefore you can be objective into understanding in how they are running their campaign. That matters nothing at all to the issues that they are talking about. It matters nothing at all to how much you're going to support them. And I understand that we have 2 very defined candidates. Joe Biden has been around forever. Donald Trump is the sitting president. There's not a lot of question about who stands for what and why they stand for it. If you've already made your decision, then don't watch. If you do care about the ins and outs and the X's and O's of politics, then I would invite you guys to watch the debate with me. Twitch.tv/Justin R. Young. Tonight we will be watching it in the Smoky Back Room, and I will do my best to try and break down what they are trying to do and whether or not they are successful in what their game plan is going into this, because I think it is educational and not just in a Circus Maximus like kind of way, like in a way that hopefully makes you understand politics and messaging and the wrapper for which we make our decision on who our leaders are going to be.
Nice. And there is no, this seems naive to ask this because I guess I should know this by now, but there is no third anybody in there. There's no Green Party candidate. This is just these 2, right? Mm-hmm. This is it.
No. Our third party candidates, Joe Jorgensen and Howie Hawkins, have either in any poll that I've seen been able to crack 1% nationally. Indeed, I think the highest polling third party candidate that I have seen in any national poll was indeed the birthday party's own Kanye West.
Oh, right.
By the way, Joe Jorgensen and Howie Hawkins both sound like DC secret identities.
They do, dude. They totally do. Oh
yeah, we might have had a more electric libertarian candidate if Justin Amash, he was a former Republican who left and then was flirting with the libertarian nomination and then backed out. We don't really know why, although if a politician doesn't do a thing, it usually means they couldn't get the money to do it.
Yeah.
So we could have had something there, but instead, Joe Jorgensen is the Libertarian Party tends to waffle between a Republican retread that has name value and somebody that is very, very ideologically pure libertarian wise.
Right.
And last time they had Gary Johnson, who forgot what Aleppo was on national television while his earpiece was precariously dangling off his head.
Yeah.
And this time they went back to the hardcore pleasing Joe Jorgensen.
Yeah. Who? I don't know. I had a joke there, but I'm not going to make it. All right. Well, there you go. It's tonight. Catch it. 6 p.m. Pacific. 7 p.m.
I'll be on.
Mountain.
Yeah, I'll be on a little earlier, probably 5 p.m. Pacific. But yeah, we'll be watching the debate, and then I'm going on a panel afterward. But you can watch it all on my channel at Justin R. Young.
Awesome.
Or, Justin R. Young on Twitch.
There you go.
The jury will now retire.
Thanks, Justin. We'll see you later.
Ooh, well done. You remembered it while he was on.
I did. He actually heard
Very
it
good.
this time. He heard it.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. I don't think I explained myself very well to people about why this stuff freaks me out, but
I get it. No, I get it. It is. I think you explained it well at the very beginning, comparing it to kind of like watching Faces of Death or something like that. It's you know what it's going to be like. You know, it makes you uncomfortable. Why bother watching it?
yeah, I know how squirmy I'm going to be. And
Mhm.
the thing
there's
is,
just
it's
something
funny
about
is
that grinning face that he makes when
yeah, but also it's at a baseline. I don't like it in any debates. I don't like any debates ever. I've never
Yeah,
enjoyed.
right.
I've watched some of them. I couldn't make it through all the Hillary ones because same reason. Like skin crawls.
I
I gotta
enjoyed
get out.
I really did like the Democratic debates when they were paring down that huge field.
Couldn't watch those either. Couldn't watch
Wow,
those.
okay.
Couldn't watch.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. I don't think I explained because I tried to add in like, well, here's what I think Scott's trying to say, and
No. It's totally fine. I it's a hard thing to explain. I think people who get it will get it, and it's like you either like spiders or you don't. You can either stand looking at a hairy spider or you can't. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
Debates
Yeah.
are a hairy spider for me.
Yeah. It's a big hairy spider.
All right.
Hairy Spider 2020.
We're gonna quickly do one of
I'm
these.
Hairy Spider, and I approve this message.
I approve this hairy message. Service! Quick fan service. This is for Greg. Greg wrote in, says, Dear Scott and Brian, I teach a very small town / community, or in one population of less than 900 people. Geez, that is small. This past Friday morning, tragedy struck our small town. There was a fire at a home in town, and the single mother of 2 kids passed away in the accident. The 2 kids were lost everything they owned, their home, and their only parent. Our small town is banding together to support this family in an extremely hard time, and I wanted to reach out to the Tadpole as well. The morning stream gets me through my twice daily 45-minute commute. If you guys always help me when I'm having a hard time and making me smile. I'm hoping that the TMS community can help mine in this time of need. I know this isn't the normal fan service, but even if a few people could help right now, it would be enough. The grandparents of the 2 kids have set up a Facebook fundraiser. I have a link to it. It's really hard to find. I hate the way these links work with Facebook.
Yeah, I needed to make a tiny CC out of this.
Yeah, I think I will real quick, actually. I put it in the chat room so you can see it. Tiny. Let me do this real fast. I think it's worth doing.
Sure.
Paste the long URL. We're going to shorten it to help. I'll call it help fan. Let's see if this works. Yep, it did. So go to tiny.cc/helpfan, and you can help these guys out. So that's really awful. Again, tiny.cc/helpfan. Do that today. If you've got normally it's stuff like, hey, you got an Etsy store? Let us know, and we'll talk about it on the show. But, once in a while, these get in as well. If you have a fan service you want to send in, send it to themorningstream@gmail.com. And for everybody else just trying to contact us, same email address. You can use that one as well. frogpants.com/TMS is our website, and you can support us at patreon.com/TMS. Tomorrow we'll have Nicole and Tom and recommendals and all that. So come back for more. Let's go. Brian, we got a song to play. Do you have a song
All right.
to play?
Yeah, this one's